Japan can be incredibly beautiful, but not always. I'm videotaping the train ride from Narita Airport to Tokyo, so I can show my late father that Japan isn't always Ichiban, number one. See, Dad, it isn't totally Ichiban. I know it's irrational to videotape something for a man who's already dead, but my father's insufferable bias for Japan is one of the main reasons why it's taken me 57 years to get here. Another is the memory of my mom's mother, my Oba-chan. She used to make me crazy with her excessive politeness to strangers and her incessant demands to conform. Japan has changed a lot from when my dad and grandmother lived here over 80 years ago. I think that's why they never came back here to live. The Japan they knew has been gone for decades. I'm a Nikkei sansei, a third-generation Japanese American. I've come to Japan to discover why Japanese Americans would choose to live in Japan instead of the United States. Through press releases, websites, and word of mouth, I've been able to find 50 Japanese Americans willing to tell me why they've made Japan their home. 6 of them join me in this documentary. Given my disdain for the Japanese propaganda of my youth, I'm hoping that my quest will also give me a fresh perspective on who I am and where I belong.
There's so many different kinds of people out here. It's not, I guess the American perception is, and me coming from America is that, it was this, homogenous kind of group, but there's a lot of different people.
One of the things that's important to me is food. I love to eat, and so one of the things I made a point of was when I came to Japan, I really needed to be able to read menus. That was one thing that, even though I can't really read kanji very well, I can read food kanji almost fluently. So that's never been a problem. I can read katakana really well. So on menus, it's either food kanji or katakana that appears on the menus. So I've never had a problem with that, mainly because I was determined from the start to be able to handle that well.
Everyone asks me if I had a culture shock or shock to the food or anything, but what I always tell them is that I had shock to knowing that I wasn't Japanese. When when you're in Hawaii, everyone asks, "Oh, what race are you?" And we don't go American, or what nationality are you? And everyone's American, but no one says American. Everyone breaks it down to the bloodline. So I'm there for 27 years saying I'm Japanese. I come to Japan, they tell me I'm foreign. And I'm freaking out right there. Whoa, what's going on here? Probably one of the first times I've ever called myself American was when I came to Japan.
And I am the product of both the Western culture and from Japan. Maybe both good parts and bad parts. And in some ways, growing up, there was a conflict. Around you, the Western culture says you should speak your mind, you should, have your own opinion and be able to support it. Whereas in the Japanese style, it's like you have to think about the others.
I didn't like being, it's like being in America. I don't like standing out, being targeted with racial epithets and things. So I don't need that in my life. And I felt, so when living in Japan was much more comfortable when I first came here.
In the past I felt like, gosh, now I look like everybody, but I feel more of an outsider than I did when I was in America, when I didn't look like everybody. You know, it's kind of a weird transition. But yeah, I think now I like where it is now.